Coming up on Chicago Bears Now, Ben Johnson praises his quarterback Caleb Williams after a quote yesterday kind of got misconstrued by the public. Also, could the Bears sign a recently released linebacker given their injuries at the position? And Micah Parsons, he is going to be a focal point for the Bears' offensive game plan in terms of how to slow him down. We got a lot to dive into there. But before we do any of that, we got a bit of an update on TJ Edwards. The Bears veteran linebacker has not played in the last 4 games as he's been dealing with a broken bone in his hand and a hamstring injury. He reportedly was back on the practice field today. Sounds like in a limited capacity. Now, the Bears' first injury report will not drop until tomorrow, and I think they're not doing a full practice tomorrow. Coming off the weird week playing on Friday, they did a full practice today. I don't think they're doing one tomorrow, then a full one Thursday. So tomorrow's will be estimations, but likely based on what took place today. If he could come back and play in this game at Lambeau Field, that would be a huge lift for this defense, because I think DeMarco Jackson, Amon Ogbongbemiga have done a respectable job. But as these games continue to get tougher, you want your best players out there. And I thought TJ was playing really well before he got banged up about a month ago. So this would be huge. Hopefully he can play. I think he's trending toward doing just that on this Sunday, but we will continue to monitor that as the week goes. All right, guys, we are literally knocking on the doorstep, of 143,000 subscribers. Help us get there. We're 5 away. Who's it going to be? By the time you're watching this, it might have surpassed you by. So try to be number 143,000. We're bringing you guys free and daily Bears content. And don't forget, we are battling the Packers report and new subscribers this week. So if you want to win that competition as well, subscribe today. Okay, Ben Johnson praising Caleb Williams as he held another press conference today. Again, with them practicing today and not practicing tomorrow. He spoke to the media again today. And he kind of he didn't go out of his way to clarify a comment, but based on a question that was asked today after his comments on Caleb Williams in the passing game yesterday, he wanted to clear that up. So let's revisit what he said yesterday when he was asked about Caleb's completion percentage, which is sub 60 right now. He said, "It's an area we have certainly talked about. We have to be fundamentally correct. The primary receiver, when he's open, we've got to make sure we hit him. And then all of our pass catchers, we just harped on it today. We need to be more disciplined in our route detail. It's not where it needs to be. Our depth's not proper all the time. Our steps isn't." He's talking about the receivers here. "Everybody has a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with that." I think all totally fair. This wasn't a put all the blame on Caleb, all on the receivers. It's like, hey, it's a collective effort. The details aren't fully locked in right now. We're going to really make that a focal point this week and moving forward to get some of those things cleaned up. Well, he was kind of asked a follow-up today, and here's what he had to say about his quarterback. He said, "When I made that comment yesterday, it's easily construed as I'm not happy with the quarterback. That's not the case whatsoever. He continues to get better each and every week, and I couldn't be more pleased with how he played last week. And I know what the stats say. Throw those out the window. He's doing a really good job managing the ballgame. That's step number 1 for the quarterback. We're going to continue to see him ascend, whether the stats tell the story or not." And remember, something else he talked about yesterday is his full command of the operation, getting out of the huddle in a timely manner, making the checks at the line of scrimmage, something I've talked about. His eyes, his reads, he's throwing to the right spot way more often than not. The decision-making's been good too, but he just hasn't always made the throws. And to Ben's point, maybe some of those are on the receivers. Some are certainly on the quarterback. I think multiple things can be true at once. We could certainly want and expect more from Caleb Williams. I think he is missing some throws. There's probably certain ones that are on the receivers. There was a couple last week. Luther Burden sat on a route, should have ran through it, kind of stumbled to the ground. DJ Moore fell to the ground on what was going to be a chunk play before the half. So, it's not always on the quarterback. It's never always on one guy when you kind of have multiple plays here. But that could be true while also understanding he is growing. He is commanding this offense. The control of the offense and the command of it now compared to week 1, it's night and day. I mean, they couldn't even get the plays off what felt like half the time in that week 1 loss to Minnesota, which directly contributed to that loss because they just stalled themselves out for the second and third quarters of that game. So I'm still very pleased with where Caleb Williams is at. Yes, we want the accuracy to be better. 58.1% is not the goal, clearly. But I always thought the lofty goal of 70% was unrealistic. And also, something Caleb's doing a better job of this year, instead of taking unnecessary sacks, just throw the ball away. And they're clearly emphasizing that. Like, if it's not there, if there's nowhere to scramble, throw the ball away. We would rather take a 0-yard play than an 8-yard loss. That's why his completion percentage was 62.5% last year, because he took 1 million sacks. So I'm not wavering on Caleb Williams. The next step is being more consistent with the footwork and delivering the football. And I think the operation is much better. He's gotten much better playing under center. Ben's happy with where he's at. So if you want to sell your stock, have at it. I will gladly buy those shares from you. It is Packers week, which means FGBs in the comments all day long. I want to see you comment FGB. I want to see you comment FGB. Bring them in the comment section right now. Okay, sign Kyzir White. Is that on the table for the Bears? The Titans waived the veteran linebacker earlier today. Only played in 1 game this season. He's dealt with a hamstring issue off and on. And with them being at 1-11, they decided to cut bait, and he'll have a chance to latch on with a contending team. Jordan Schultz did report that he is healthy after suffering a hamstring injury earlier this season. So we'll see if and where he lands. Good year last year in Arizona. He was productive. 137 tackles, 9 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, 3 PBUs, interception, kind of littered up the stat sheet. He's not great in coverage overall. Now, with the TJ Edwards news we shared with you guys earlier today, probably not going to be a guy the Bears target, but he could be someone to keep on the radar if he clears waivers and does not sign with the team. So wanted to mention that. We'll have a little bit more on Kyzir White plus Micah Parsons here in just a little bit. But first, do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy with PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. I got to get back on the saddle. I have not been as hot the last couple of weeks as I was earlier in the year. You just pick 2 or more players and take more or less on their stat projections available. We're talking passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, points, rebounds, assists in basketball, goals and assists in hockey. All sports available. You can cross over your sports in your lineup. Simple 2-player lineup here. I'll take more on DeAndre Swift rushing or receiving touchdown. I think he scores at least 1 right there. Half a touchdown projection. I took the more. And then Jordan Love, less than 212.5 passing yards. It is going to be freezing at Lambeau Field, so I think it could be difficult to throw the football this weekend. Check it out today. $20 lineup to win $80. Download the PrizePicks app. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Okay, a little more discussion with the linebackers. Obviously, Tremaine Edmonds on IR. He's going to miss at least 2 more weeks. TJ Edwards, we're hoping back this week. You would think at the latest he would be back week 15 against the Browns before that rematch with the Packers and week 16, which, side piece of news, that game is now the Saturday night game for week 16, a little 7:20 primetime action, so that's going to be fantastic. Noah Sewell, Ruben Hippolyte, neither were placed on IR, so you're hopeful they're back soon. Ben Johnson did say today that they have been pleased with Eamon Ogbongbemiga and DeMarco Jackson. I think you couple those comments with TJ Edwards trending toward being back soon. I would doubt Kyzir White is someone that they would put a waiver claim in for. But if he clears waivers, maybe put him on your practice squad. You never know. Okay, all eyes on Micah Parsons. Ben Johnson, when he opened his presser today, Micah was the first player he mentioned when assessing the Packers defense, and for good reason. He's had a really, really good year, and he's a guy that can take over a ball game as a defensive player. Here's what he had to say. He said, this defense might be the best defense we've faced all year. Personnel-wise, they have multiple guys you have to be aware of, starting with Micah. And, yeah, for the 5th straight year, he has 12 or more sacks. Listen, the Packers gave up 2 first-round picks. They paid him $47 million per year. That was obviously a big commitment. He's lived up to it, man. He's been one of, if not the best pass rusher outside of Myles Garrett in the NFL this year. He's got 12.5 sacks. He's got almost a 20% pass rush win rate, which for a guy who plays as many snaps as him is really, really good. He's a game wrecker. And I think it's pretty clear that the key matchups are going to be Ozzie Trapillo and Darnell Wright versus these two edge rushers, Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, who's very good in his own right as well. If I'm Green Bay, I'm lining up Micah on Ozzie a lot. And I'm testing that matchup, and I'm forcing Ben Johnson and company to use, extra tight ends to chip over there and really have to focus in on Micah, which would give a lot of other guys one-on-one opportunities, which I would trust the Bears to win those one-on-ones a lot. But if Ozzie Trapillo stuck one-on-one on Micah Parsons more than, a handful of plays, that's going to be a challenge. I would imagine Ben Johnson is going to do everything he can to limit those plays, where Ozzie or even Darnell Wright is stuck one-on-one with Micah, who's just been unbelievable this year. So we'll see kind of the chess match take place between Ben Johnson and Jeff Hafley in that matchup. Speaking of Hafley, he's got this group playing really well. I mean, they're top 8 in the top 4 categories there: points per game, total yards, pass yards, rush yards. They don't take the ball away a ton, just 11 takeaways. The Bears and the Packers defensively have kind of been the opposite this year, right? Packers force a lot of 3-and-outs. They get, off the field pretty quickly. The Bears will give up yards, they'll give up points, but they will take the ball away as well. The Bears obviously lead the NFL in takeaways, so kind of two polar opposite defenses in terms of the results so far this year. But I agree with Ben. This is the toughest defense the Bears have played this year, and that's what makes this Packers team dangerous. Is they're always good offensively for the most part, but defensively this year, their defense has been better than their offense. So that is going to be a stiff test for Caleb Williams, this running game, Ben Johnson, game planning, dialing it up on Sunday. So I can't wait to see it play out, because the coaching in this game is really impressive. 2 good offensive play callers, 2 good defensive play callers. So going to be a lot of fun to see it break down. All right, predict the score. Bears, Packers. My early week prediction was 26-24. We'll see how the week progresses, the injury reports, those type of things, how it all shakes out. But I think it's going to be a good one at Lambeau Field. And by the way, Vegas now Bears 7-point dogs. It's like, man, they are not on the Bears bandwagon. They're not believing just yet, but go win another big game. They'll believe real quick. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. Jam-packed show. TJ Edwards, we're wishing the best. Hopefully we get him back very, very soon, as he's missed the last month, but did return to practice today. We will have those injury reports and updates covered for you guys right here, so hit that subscribe button. And as always, bear down.